G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Monday Meta Madness. This is episode 7, and today I've got a guest with me, and that's Armies of Mordor. How you going, Armies?
I'm doing alright, how are you?
I'm doing good. Alright, so episode 7, let's find out what deck we're going to be looking at. It is none other than the Midnight Express. This is a deck that was made popular by Light Reaper. It hasn't really... Oh, what's this? Oh, okay. Thanks for that, Nyarkat. Okay. So it's a deck that's, it's 5 color, and I thought I'd do something a bit different for today's episode, as most of the decks that are really popular in the meta right now are somewhat covered in the episodes I've done in the past. So I thought I'd try something a bit different, and this is something that, while not extremely, prevalent in the meta or impactful, hasn't really won anything. It is something different, and it will be something that is likely going to get more attention, some more upgrades when it comes to set 4 with Primal Dawn. So we'll get into that now. Let's, so these here are some of the key cards, but let's get into the first. First we'll show you this bit here, what is going to be covered. So we've got the deck, the idea, power, reserves, games, and upgrades. So, if you're watching this via YouTube, you will now be able to click these to skip ahead. If you want to just watch the games of the deck in action, you can click down here, and so on and so forth. So first, let's start with the deck itself. And we're going to just have a look at the cards and the champion. So let's get into that now. Alright. Here we are. Got Monarch as your 401k plan. Fair enough. Alright. Cool. How many do you have? Alright. So let's get into this here. So we're starting off with we're just going to look at the cards and the champion. So first we'll look at the champion itself, which is none other than Sir Giles Rowan. Is that right? Yeah, that's his name.
Yeah.
So he's a basic, obviously it's basic. All charge powers are basic. It's a 4 cost, 1 ruby. Target troop you control and all troops in all zones that share a trait with it get +1 damage. So, and that does stack if you do get to use it more than once in a game. So that's the charge power there, the champion being used for this deck. And this deck does have a lot of necrotic. Some of them not necrotic, like we've got a human ranger here. Not sure if any of these are necrotic rangers. Probably not. Probably not, no. But that doesn't really matter.
I think Ripper might be a ranger,
oh, yes,
but I don't
remember. He is.
He
indeed is. So that is a possible target there if they wanted to just get that a little bit extra value on the escort, but it's not that important. But I believe that is the only... Oh, and the unicorn, of course. The unicorn is just a unicorn. Everything else is a necrotic, though. So, anyway, the deck here, we've got 1 wild shard, 1 blood shard, 9 diamond, they're the most important shard for the deck, 2 rubies, 1 sapphire, 3 shards of fate, just some more fixing there, another fixer here with a shard of conquest for diamond and ruby, shard of hatred for blood and ruby, and then see the sepulture, I can't even say it properly, but the crypt dust. It's Sepultura, right. So this is Necrotic Allegiance, and you can gain any threshold you don't have with this rare resource here. Also important for the deck. Another fixer here with Charcoal to grab any standard resource. We'll just pick a standard resource and put it into your hand. Doesn't thin out the deck though, but still good, still needed. So decent fixing there. Also, in terms of fixing, we've got Lexel, the Deathless Gem. She's a rare 3/3. That when she enters play, you choose a standard resource from among those currently in your deck, and you gain the thresholds that threshold would provide. So, Lixel's another one there with 3 of. But let's go back, we'll go in order here. So, Valiant Escort is a very good 1-drop. It's a 2/1 for 1, and has a very nice effect, which we'll talk more about shortly. We then have a Dead-Eye Ripper, which is just a 1/1 for 1, which has a shift power of speed. We've then got the Midnight Shepherd, the 1/1 for 2, that once you've gained all your thresholds, then you'll be able to exhaust him to put target troop in any crypt, into play under your control. Very powerful effect. We've then got one of the main removal cards for the deck, which is Martyr. It's a quick action for 2. Transform target troop into a Monument of the Martyr, which is this right here. Troops you control have +1/+1. So if you're using it on opposing champion's troop, then you will buff all their other troops, which is okay if they're not running. If they're not like just spamming out troops, then you're not going to mind too much. But it does also combo with this card here. If you do have to use Martyr, maybe then the Pride's Fall has a few more targets, as it will only work on troops with 4 or more defense, and that's a 2-cost removal card for 2's quick action. Then we have Necrotic here, Flamehand Invoker, 2-cost 2/1 with a shift power to give this effect here to another troop, which is ability to buff the troop that has the power by +X for the turn. So it can be very powerful. Then we got already looked at Lixil, then we got the Unicorn, which is a double diamond 3/3 for 3. You can sacrifice it to make your troops invincible for a turn. We've then got the Prodigy of Volosolov. He's got the ability...
Volosolov or something? Yeah.
Volosolov, yeah. My way was better. So, Necrotic you control have +2/+2 when you've gained all your thresholds. You'll get his resonance there. So that's very powerful. 3 cost for a 3/2 as well. But if you got him on play with all those thresholds with lots of little guys, they're all going to be a lot stronger. Then you got the Mist Lord for 4 cost 3/3 double diamond. Necrotic Rogue with this shift power here that you can pay 3 to void the troop, and then at the end of the turn, if it's in your void, it puts it back into play. So that's an effect that you can combo with various things, which we'll talk about shortly. Neophyte Awakener, 4 cost 2/2. When it enters play, you may revert target troop with cost 3 or less in a crypt, so any crypt, then put that troop into your hand. And then the Forgotten Monarch himself, which is the 5 cost, but he gets reduced. Now the text is probably a little bit hard to read here, but it does say this has cost -1 in all zones for each different threshold you have. So, the more thresholds you're playing at. If you've got all 5, well then he's free, which is pretty damn sweet. And suck it all major and minor. In this case, in the deck, it's using the Destruction Gem. So we've got, when this enters play, it deals damage equal to its damage to target opposing champions. So that's, Sir Giles Rowan can make him a little bit stronger. You've also got Flight in him as well. So that's the deck and the cards there. Let's have a quick look at the reserves. So we've got Soul Marble, very good constant. You can put resources into it, as many as you like each turn. Once you've got 10, you can then choose one of these, which is the Soul Cavalry or the Soul Armaments. And there's what the Soul Armaments does there. Troops you control have +2/+2 Spell Shield and Steadfast, so very, very, very powerful effect. And then the Soul Cavalry is just a 6/6. It's a 6/6 Steadfast Spell Shield. Yeah, very powerful also. But it does take quite an investment. But good card against slow decks. And obviously decks with lots of removal. You got Frost Wizard, 2/2 for 2. Another good reserves card for against certain decks. Again, we'll talk about what they're in there for later. Heatwave, 2 costs, deal 2 damage to each troop. Drown Train, champions can't draw more than 1 card per turn, that's a 2-cost artifact. Subtle Striker, another hate card, opposing champions can't use powers, 2/2 for 2. We've got Kill, destroy target non-artifact troop, pretty self-explanatory there. And then Solitary Exile, another removal. When this enters play, void another target card. When it leaves play, put each card voided by it into play. So that's 3 cost double diamond. So that's the deck and the reserves there. So yeah, now let's get into the next segment. Let me actually. You hate Martyr. You hate the Martyr card. I think it's so bad. Oh, fair enough, Buffety. It's definitely in situations can be bad.
It's good when your opponent is only playing 4 threats in their entire deck.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Very, very good against decks that are running very few threats, as Ami says there, and also good against certain types of troops like your Root Fathers with damage into play and stuff like that. But yeah, let's get into the next bit. So let me switch on over to that. That was just a quick run through of that, and now we'll actually get into the actual operation and win conditions. So let's get into that now. Anything you would like to say, Armies?
Nope.
Alright, well, what I will say to you guys in the chat is if you have questions for myself or Armies, then just do @HEX Havoc followed by your question, and I'll be sure to read that out. So, alright. So now we're going to
spoil the Ruby 1 cost removal?
I don't think so. I don't know. The new... Wait. Yeah, where are you seeing this deal? The new one?
Because I already know what it is, but...
Yeah, I think I know what he's talking about. Alright. So, well, that would be nice to...
I don't know if
it would be nice to see. If not, well, we'll see it in the future. Alright, so Operation and Win Conditions.
Well done, Dino Stream.
Oh, I should actually probably... I'll share my screen with you on Skype here. And,
good idea.
Yeah. Alright, tell me if you can see that. Oh, earlier on Dino Stream. Cool. Alright. We'll have a look at that later then. Alright, so...
Hasn't made it to the 5 Shards website yet.
Right. So can you see the screen?
Yep.
Alright, so now we'll talk about the operation and win conditions. So would you like to talk about this, Armies? Or like just start it off at least?
Sure. Well, at first glance, this deck plays kind of like an aggro deck, in the fact that it has a low curve. Like, the most expensive thing in the deck is the Neophyte Awakener, because you don't really count the Forgotten Monarch. He usually will cost 2 at the most in this kind of a deck, even if you're getting like screwed on your resources. Whereas, so the deck plays pretty low to the ground, so it tries to run you over as quick as possible. But if that plan doesn't work, it has a lot of ways to go wrong. It has Midnight Shepherd and Lixil, which can block forever against ground troops. It has different avenues of attack, which is what I really like about this style of deck. It can kill you in the air with the Forgotten Monarch, or with your own flyers if they take them with Neophyte Awakener. Shifting Flamehand Invoker onto anything in this deck makes it able to trade with anything.
Yep.
And can just push through tons of damage. So there's a lot of really neat tricks you can do with this deck that we'll get into.
Indeed. So, yeah, one of the as Armies was saying, the curve is very low and can put on a lot of pressure. You got things like the Valiant Escort here, which is just very good value. 2-1 for 1 is very good. But then you got this really nice effect that, when used correctly, there's a lot of ways to use it in the deck that is not immediately apparent. So, for example, with this guy in play, I mean, first of all, it gets around things like, it can help get around anyway, things like Crocosaur. If you've got 2 troops in play, you can then sacrifice this guy. Maybe you put back a Forgotten Monarch into your hand, and therefore you've got nothing. So nothing gets battled, nothing dies. Well, besides the Escort, but he's sacrificing himself. It's okay. So this guy can help you in that situation by reducing the numbers on the board to help against things like the Crocosaur, and even can help, if you don't have a Unicorn, which is a way to help against Extinction. And also potentially Heatwave if you've got a lot of your little weenie guys out. So this can help against that. But if you don't have this, maybe you just want to, maybe you've only got an Escort and a Monarch in play, and they use like, the Heatwave, Extinction, or Croco, whatever. You can still use the effect here from the Escort to put that Monarch back, which you'll then re-get the enter play effect again, so you'll damage, and if it's free, well then that's even better if you've got all your thresholds at that point. Then you'll get that damage into play. Potentially it'll be 3 damage thanks to Sir Giles Rowan. So that's, it's very nice just being able to save stuff like that. But there's also some other really nice interactions with the Escort, which I'll let Armies talk about.
Especially with so first of all, if you ever have a Valiant Escort in your crypt, Midnight Shepherd, in response to any removal, can just bring back Valiant Escort and then bounce itself. So it's really difficult to get rid of Midnight Shepherd if there's any Valiant Escorts in play. If you can't get rid of the Shepherd the turn it comes into play, it is really difficult to get rid of in this deck. Because with the Escorts and the Unicorns, both can stack themselves at will to protect his other troops. So it's a really great way to go on. The deck also plays a fair bit of removal, and that means that any troops that you have can potentially be brought back by his Midnight Shepherd as well. So you can get crocked by your own crocs, or you can get hit with your own vampire princesses or vampire kings. So it's a really frustrating deck to play against if you can't get rid of the Midnight Shepherd.
Yep. Another interaction you can do is with the Valiant Escort and the Neophyte. You can just sacrifice the Escort, put the Neophyte back in your hand, and get back the Escort if you so choose. But you're very likely going to have...
You can also get back the Midnight Shepherd if it somehow managed to die, like they had 2 removal spells in one turn or
exactly.
something.
Yeah. You can... lots of ways to get stuff back. Midnight Shepherd obviously being just a 2-of, but if you get him and you can keep him around with that when that effect is online, very, very, very powerful. The downside, the one downside to having Martyr though, is that if you are using it on things like Croco or just really good troops, you're not going to be able to obviously use the Midnight Shepherd to get those troops, as they are going to be turned into a statue. So yeah, can't beat your opponent to death with a statue, unfortunately. Not yet, anyway. So yeah, that is one downside to the Martyr.
Monarch is technically the win condition, FOS. It's typically Monarch that closes the game because it has so much reach in this deck. Once you get the Guile's power on it, when it comes into play, it can do 3.
Yeah.
If you have a Prodigy, any of your Prodigies in play, it will do 5 or 7 or 9. And then if you ever shift the Flame Hand Invoker power to the Forgotten Monarch, and then bounce it and replay it, in response with the direct damage trigger on the stack, you can sink all of your resources into the Monarch, and you can basically burn to the ground your opponent every time you bounce it or bring it back from the crypt with Midnight Shepherd or anything like that. So yeah, I'd say Forgotten Monarch is the main win condition, but you could also just get attritioned out of the game with Midnight Shepherd.
Yeah. Yeah, another cool thing as well is that you can also Mistlord onto the Monarch. Once, say, you do have that power on there and you've done it, maybe you've put that Mistlord effect on there. Maybe obviously you don't have ramp, so you're not going to have a huge amount of resources most likely. But if you did have, maybe you were flooded, the game has gone long. If you do get that Mistlord effect on there, that's just another way you can stop it being killed, and you can just keep doing that direct damage and potentially several points of damage, quite a lot, if you've got that Invoker power on there. Obviously it does cost 3 to do the Mistlord's effect, but if you're at, say, 7 or something, you can still do quite a chunk each time. You need to do that, and obviously you can keep it open to stop it from being targeted by removal. But also you can do the Mistlord effect onto Neophyte Awakener. You could even do it on Midnight Shepherd if you want to protect him. That's another way, but it is just a one-off, so it's not something you're going to see often, but it does have some nice interactions there. So yeah, that's I think that covers pretty much everything. Again, you got the Unicorn to help against extinctions and heat waves and all that sort of stuff. Even against Crocosaur, it can be useful. So that's a 3-of. But yeah, I think we've pretty much covered most of the interactions there. Anything you would like to add there, Armies?
Other than the fact that Murder lets you use your prize fall on targets you normally wouldn't. That's the only other interaction with the removal. But you already kind of talked about that.
Yeah, I mentioned that just briefly. Yeah. So that Mata does make it so Pridefall can potentially hit something it couldn't previously. Anything that's 3 health will go up to 4 defense, and then the Pridefall will be able to kill it. But yeah, all right. Well, let's get into the next segment then. And again, if you have questions in the chat, please just do @HEX Havoc followed by your question. Alright, so let's move on from the idea there to strengths and weaknesses. Alright. What is that? What's happening over here? No! Go back! That was strange. Alright, there we go. Back to the power here. Strengths and weaknesses. So, let me get back into the client. Alright, so what do you think are the main strengths and weaknesses for this deck? I mean, what do you think? I mean, obviously, the first thing that comes to mind for me as a weakness is the thresholds. Even though it does run a lot of fixing, that is probably going to be the number one way that you lose with this deck.
Yeah, it's definitely the number one way to lose. It's just get screwed.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Especially if you were to really get really unlucky and just not get a diamond, then you're done. As the deck is primarily diamond.
I don't think you keep a hand that doesn't have diamonds.
Of course, but yeah, I mean, you could not get a diamond hand in your opening hand, and then just even having to mulligan though, just that one mulligan could mean that you maybe have to go again because you don't get the diamond, or you just it makes it even harder for you to hit those thresholds you really need. So, just the deck wouldn't be that great, I would say, when it comes to doing mulligans, but I haven't played it enough to really know just yet. What day is it today? Screw you, Malachus. Screw you.
It's Monday for me. That's all that matters.
Yeah, it's all that matters. All that matters. But no, it is Tuesday for me. But that's because screw you, man. I'm doing an American time zone based, and you know that. So you can stop with these jokes. All right. What was I talking about now? Strengths and weakness, right? So. Probably, the biggest strengths for the deck is it does have those lot of nice little interactions that can catch your opponent off guard if they're not familiar with something like this. They may be like, oh, I'll just Croco here, and then like, oh wait, I forgot he could do that, or you're doing all these different effects and different ways to protect. But yeah, the definitely the biggest weakness is the thresholds. I had some stuff for it down, and I can't find where I wrote it down. So what do you think is the biggest strengths, armies, of the deck?
It's really resilient, and it's playing a lot of efficient removal, and it plays really aggressive. There aren't that many good aggro decks right now, so the fact that you can get away with playing a 5-color aggro deck compared to mono ruby, this has way more staying power than your typical aggro deck. So that's definitely this thing can go toe to toe with mid-range and control decks. Yeah. Even in the long game. So I'd say that's a big strength for it.
Yeah. Yeah, now, so in terms of matchups, I think probably the hardest matchups for it at the moment would be things like Winter Moon, especially with Azure Fate. That Spell Shield would definitely be a problem. But then you've also got things like, you got the Croco, especially with Croco with Spell Shield, is extremely difficult for this deck to actually deal with. They're going to have to just, use the Escort if they can, but not being able to use Martyr or All Pride's Fall to stop things like Croco, stop that Windsinger, which is ever important, definitely makes it a tough matchup. We'd really need to put on the pressure fast.
Yeah, if the opponent can stick any sort of reasonable clock against you that you can't deal with. The main thing about this deck is if they have Spell Shield, you can't really deal with anything. Yeah. Unless you just outsize them, which the deck can actually outsize quite well.
Yeah,
but the main thing is that it doesn't have the protection elements that most of the diamond. It has soul marbles and reserves, which is fine. You can bring those in, and that will help in those control matchups. But for game one, you're really just trying to kill them when they don't have any of their efficient removal or. If they stumble at all. This deck tries to prey on the control decks that don't know what's going on and just kill you quickly.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't handle that, then maybe you can sneak out a few wins with your Midnight Shepherd or Lixil or something, just attrition the game out that way. But it can be very difficult once the control deck stabilizes.
For sure. I think another matchup that would be somewhat tricky, potentially, is Cressida with Pucks and Parries. Parry would be the biggest problem for the deck, because then there's just multiple threats coming down. And the removal, the deck doesn't have that much removal. Yes, it's got Martyr, but if they're doing Puck and Parry, you can't really ignore either of them. Definitely could be a problem, because then they can just get down their big threats before this deck really gets online.
The deck actually doesn't do that terribly against them if they don't have Spell Shield Rootfathers. If they have main deck Spell Shield Rootfathers, then it's difficult.
Well, I mean,
because Lixil can do whatever it wants against their deck, and they can't do anything through Lixil.
Yeah, no, that is true.
And you can Martyr and Pride's Fall their big fatties, and then kill them in the air with Forgotten Monarch.
Yeah, no, that's why I mentioned Periwinkle. Because Periwinkle, just having double of everything, if you don't deal with the Periwinkle, then yes, that that
Yeah.
what you were saying there would work against non-Periwinkle. Against double though of everything, I don't think so. But so that
well, that's why there's some heat waves in reserves.
and I was about to say
and you have martyrs if you're desperate.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. That would make game one. It would be tough. Still would be all right, but yeah, we'll look more at the reserves later.
I mean, the deck can actually just like out of nowhere turn the game around if you just like Pridefall or Rootfather or bring it back with Midnight Shepherd. Like, there's definitely ways the deck can beat Ruby Wild, especially since Ruby Wild's life total is so low. It's not that difficult to just sneak in like 5 points of damage with Forgotten Monarch here, 5 points of damage there. It all adds up.
Definitely. So I'm going to link everyone in the chat, actually, because Light Reaper actually did an article on the deck, so I'll link that, and you can, if you would like to read his article at some point, I'll put that in there. I'm pretty sure it's the exact same list that I'm covering. Looks to be the case. So let me get that in the chat. But yeah, we'll do some.
They really did a number on Chrysida's life total.
Yeah.
It just means you have to play some life gain in your deck. That's all.
Yeah.
Play those clucks.
So there's the article that Light Reaper did himself. If you'd like to check that out at some point. But yeah, let's move on, I guess, to the next segment now. So that is none other than reserves. So now we'll look at those a bit more closely here. Alright, so the reserves. So when are you wanting to bring these in? Well, let's talk about that. As I said before briefly about Soul Marble, it's something you want to bring in against slow decks, but also decks that have lots of control cards, be it targeted removal, all that sort of stuff. Soul Marble is a great inclusion, as the effect from Soul Armaments is extremely powerful. Giving everything not only +2/+2, you're giving Spellshot and Steadfast. Now, Spellshot is extremely powerful, as we mostly all know. Yeah, so that's very good against the decks with lots of targeted removal and the like. But yeah, Steadfast also very nice. But yeah, very good against slow decks. You're not going to want to bring that in against aggressive decks, of course, as it will be too slow and you won't be likely getting it online. But definitely good against slow decks, the more control style. Then we got Frost Wizard, which is a good option to bring in against, like the likes of Winter Moon, even Rutherford Banks, as anything that's going to go to into an opposing deck or crypt will get voided instead. So it stops the Winter Moon charge power, which I'll show you real quick here. So it stops the Winter Moon charge power, which is very good value, as I'm sure most of us know. Extremely prevalent in the meta, so being able to stop that is very important. And against Winter Moon, you don't mind bringing in stuff like this because they don't really, as long as you've got your Martyr or Pride's Fall open, like if you put this down on 2, by the time they can play Croco, if you're ready for it, you can Pride's Fall or Martyr in response. If you've got, because you're obviously going to have multiple things on the board, so you do need to play around that sort of stuff if you're gonna. But you're already doing that, right? In the main deck, you're already playing out lots of little weenies, so you're not really changing that interaction. You just need to be careful. But this is something that will stop. Let me actually put that back. Will stop the Winter Moon charge power, Rutherford Banks, anything like that. But also stops escalation cards.
Stops death triggers from like Mirror Knight Inspires or Dark Spire or anything like that. That's a great card.
Yeah.
I've always been a fan of Frost Wizard. I just wish they would print his ability on a constant.
Yeah, definitely would be nice on a constant, something that's harder to remove. Where's Giles? Am I blind? Oh, he's Ruby, isn't he?
You're blind, yeah.
Yeah, no, for some reason I thought he was Diamond. So, yeah, Frost Wizard there. Then we got obviously the Heat Waves here, so that's good against other aggressive decks. Like the more this deck is not that aggressive. Like it can be, but it's obviously a slower and aggressive deck. Whereas you've still got those mono Ruby decks running around. So bringing Heatwave can just... They're so straightforward that Heatwave is a card that, if used at the right time, can just end the game in a lot of cases. So Heatwave is always a very good sideboard card if you're in Ruby, which this deck is not in it that heavily, of course. You know, you've only got the 2 there. You've then got another 4 sources here. You've got Shard Call. You've got the Dust. I mean, you've got lots of ways to get it, right? But you know, it's still if you need to get other thresholds first, and then you don't have that online.
And for this is one of the few aggro decks that can actually play Heatwave and not care, because if you have a Unicorn, you can sack a Unicorn and then Heatwave, and none of your other things will die.
Yeah.
So you can actually play to the board your Midnight Shepherds and your other 2/1s and 1/1 or 2/2s, and you don't care about your own Heatwave or even their Heatwave if they have Heatwave because of Unicorn. So.
Yep, Unicorn is a good one for that. So that's Heatwave, obviously very good. Always going to be... well, I guess Set 4 is giving us some new toys that might actually make it less important, but who knows. Drown Shrine...
I mean, Heatwave will always be the most efficient answer.
Yeah, no, definitely.
Obviously, Electrify is good, but it also can kill yourself.
No, of course. No, I think there was something else. I could be wrong, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just thinking of Electrify.
There's the Blood Ruby champion that hasn't been spoiled.
True. So Drown Shrine of Ulthar, another card that's really good for against Wintermoon, as it will stop champions from drawing more than 1 card per turn. And you'll notice in this deck...
It's not that bad against Eldritch Dreamer or Cerulean Mentalist or any of those kinds of
any
effects
deck
too.
that wants to draw lots of cards, it's good against. And you'll notice in this deck here, it has no card draw. So, I mean, I don't know if I'd bring it in against like a Balthazar. You know, if their only card draw was Balthazar, I mean maybe, but potentially, because Balthazar is very important in those type of decks.
I mean, if I was playing against one of those kinds of decks, I don't know that I'd care about Awakener very much.
Yeah.
So I'd probably be wanting to bring something in. Maybe that would come in.
Yeah.
Maybe Heatwaves come in to kill Pucks and Periwinkles.
Yeah, definitely.
Probably the kills have to come in.
Yeah.
So it's just a matter of how many cards in the main deck you not like in the matchup, and how many can you bring in. So if you have one more slot to bring in, Drown Shrine isn't the worst card.
Yeah, I agree. So Subtle Striker, another good card for against this. In this case, charge powers themselves. So the main one it's probably there to stop is Rutherford Banks. But even just stopping Wintermoon again is definitely good. Like there's a lot of
Cressida, them back a turn from their big dudes. So. Definitely
can be alright against Cressida. So yeah, just while it's in play, they can't use their charge power, and it's a 2/2 for 2, so not terrible, and it is necrotic as well, which this guy's a human mage, but that's okay. But the Subtle Striker here will get benefited from your Guiles. Go ahead.
So do we get to call them Hate Childs in Hex, since we have Wild Child as the 2/2 for 2 in our game?
What?
Hate Childs. In Magic, these kinds of cards like Frost Wizard and Subtle Striker are called Hate Bears, because a bear in that game was a 2/2 for 2.
Right.
And these are 2/2s for 2 with abilities that hate on certain cards or interactions. So I was just...
Yeah. How many Army of Myth should you play in this deck? Yeah, 7. That's correct. Yep. So is there a reason this deck doesn't use Eye of Elixir? It seems like it basically has Invincible in this deck. Well...
It is a reserves option.
It's a reserves option, yeah.
Most of the decks right now are either using flights or are comboing you with direct damage. If we ever move to a place where we're way more aggressive, like a lot more aggro decks are around, Lixil probably makes it back into the deck.
Yeah. So then we just have Kill, which is destroyed target non-artifact troop, just as a 2-of, pretty self-explanatory. And then Solitary Exile, another removal. Just some more removal there to wrap it up. So Exile, I mean, double diamond. I mean, we are primary diamond, so it's not too bad. But yeah, just being able to void, obviously, very good. It's probably one of the best single target removals still in the game.
It's the most flexible one.
Yeah, because of the flexibility.
Some rogue deck with constants or artifacts that you can't remove any other way.
I've only just now. I don't think I've ever actually looked at the flavor text now.
It is pretty.
Hello?
Pretty
Anyone there?
text.
Anyone? Hello? Poor guy. Poor guy.
I still love Minion of Yazikant's flavor text. Both the AA and non-AA have excellent flavor text.
Alright, I'm curious now. Let's have a look. Death is a game, I win every time. Kill me again, please. Alright, sweet. Alright, so yeah, that is the deck, the reserves. Again, if you have questions about it, yeah, then just feel free to ask that in the chat by adding @HEX Havoc in front, so that way I notice it. But yeah, let's get into the next segment, which I believe is the game, so we get to see it in action now. So if you would like to verse me, just either say something or send me a challenge in-game. I'm just Havoc in-game. So let's get into the games. So I'll actually type that.
Oh man, did I really not have you on my friends list?
I don't know.
Nope.
I have too many people on mine.
Havoc's totally not on my friends list.
Oh. Isn't that the floobs?
Nope, that's the floobs.
Well, let's fix that then. There we go. So yeah, would anyone... Okay, so a Force wants to challenge. Alright, so we'll go against him first. We have a question here. Have you seen any spell cards you think will have a big impact on this deck? Well, that is something that we'll be talking about in the next segment after the games. Well, actually, not the next segment. The next segment is upgrade, so we'll be talking about the stuff to potentially change, if anything. But then we'll look at, you know, set 4 stuff. Actually, yeah, that is the next segment. Never mind. So we'll look at the set 4 stuff. We got some to show you that potentially could be nice within the deck. So let's get back over to Hex here. Let's get the... so a Force, if you want to just whisper me or challenge me, I am ready whenever.
Looks like he whispered you.
Alright, thank you for that. Hey, you deleted me. I didn't delete anyone. What are you talking about? Look, I'll show you. I don't delete people in friends lists. Where is he? Where is he? Maybe funny if he's not here now. Oh, there's too many. There's too many. Alright. Let's go. Challenge. Midnight Express.
I wish they would give us a way to sort our friends.
Yeah, they just need to make it so everyone who's online is at the top. Like that's as simple as that would be nice.
That and alphabetical would be nice.
Yeah.
And maybe like folders to put like guildmates in, or just their own section for guildmates when we get guilds in.
Yeah, I'm sure they're gonna revamp all that when all the rest of that. You know, we got the tabs up here. You know, guild tab and all that. So you'll be able to see who's online in your guild and all that you would expect. Alright, so first game here, showing the Midnight Express in action. So
against the Jankbot deck.
What? I'm against the Jankbot deck?
Yeah.
How do you know this?
You got 150 cards.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, I guess I should have just looked over there as soon as you said that. Yeah, that's a Jankbot deck, alright.
I mean, unless he's not playing Jankbot in a 150 card deck.
Maybe it's the mind games.
No.
Alright, so opening hand here is actually not bad. Having 2 of these, not exactly what we want, but threshold-wise, pretty good.
I'd snap keep that.
Yeah, easily a snap keep. And having this guy.
I mean, you gotta think of those 2 cards, you know, backups in case they kill your guy, right?
Yeah. Resource optimizing device, infusion device. So he's going to gain a threshold of his choice there. Can later sacrifice it to gain another permanent resource. But that costs 3 to do so. So he grabs a wild. Oh, okay, that changes things. So now I will... I could save this. But then again, I guess I know. I have... With Lixil in hand, I now have all thresholds met.
You have all your thresholds.
Yeah, so I'm just going to grab a Sapphire or something.
I would still lead with the other resource because you might want to get 4 charges on turn 4.
Oh well.
But that's
too late now. But you are right. Potentially. I mean, I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this. Oh, he chose run deck, but he will run it. Okay. All good. So yeah, we've got all thresholds, Matt.
Watch him have turn 3 or turn 4 Jake bot.
Yeah. Besides for double diamond, we might not have that meant, but we don't. For what we currently have in hand, that's fine. So I'm gonna grab a blood here. Ooh, that's pretty handy. So now we have the double diamond as well. So we'll do that. Don't need to play this. There's no point playing a Midnight Shepherd out until there's actually reason to, to use him. Ways to use him. Oh, actually, right. I guess I can't. I should have probably played a diamond there.
It's not actually the worst to play out Midnight Shepherd, because in this deck, just trying to get them to use their removal is pretty important.
Yeah.
But
well, they're not going to. I mean, most people are going to be like, well, there's nothing to get back. We'll just ignore that for now. So they'll continue there.
Yeah, well, that's when you start beating them in the face with your 2-1 because you guiles and you just start clocking them with the Midnight Shepherd.
That's a good draw. Yeah, good draw indeed. All right, so let's go grab our wild.
This is one of the other interactions with the deck is you don't really care about Lixil being invincible on turn 3 because if they kill it, you can always bring it back later and get another threshold. So he's kind of like the bait card. Like if they have removal, a lot of the times they'll remove it because they don't want to deal with a 3/3 invincible.
Yeah,
and then you just get more value out of it later.
Yeah, provided they don't have removal like Solitary Exile, Mesmerize, in a conflict, which obviously most. Oh, damn it. Oh no! He had the turn 4 Jankbot. Armies, you cursed us. You cursed us, Armies. What have you done? Now, luckily.
Jankbot, it's fine.
I mean, I've got the Invincible, so that's okay, but.
You just have to kill it and then bring it back under your control, and then you'll have your own.
So we now have the Zero Cost Forgotten Monarch, which is nice. But yeah, that's
So had you gone with my line, you would have been able to Guiles this turn, and you would have gotten extra damage in, and you would have had enough power on
double block. Yes. Yep. All right, so I'll play out the Sheppy, play out the Sharkle, get the second diamond now. And, yeah. This is gonna be bad. Because when the Jankbot attacks, it'll reveal...
He could get 3 bricks. He could...
I mean, he could.
I've seen my opponent attack a Jankbot and get Pride's Fall, and if there's no other targets, you can Pride's Fall your own Jankbot.
Yeah, that is true. But, is he running it, though? Alright, we're going to see Bloodshot, that's okay. Shard Ward, that's fine. And Immortal Tears, alright, so they didn't matter too much. Now, I could triple block
Not too much other than the fact that he's got his Lixil or Midnight Shepherd resources online now.
Yeah.
But
so
because he's obviously playing 5 color.
I could triple block. It's very risky. Well, not a whole lot.
I mean, it's super risky, but you could probably get away with it.
Well, I've got the 2 Neophytes. I'm tempted to do it.
Well, the question is what? Well, he's gonna Shard Ward. You can't.
Oh right, yeah, he Shard Warded. So yeah, never mind. Yeah.
Like you just block with Lixil and that's it.
Damn it, zoom out. All right. So we'll just absorb that. What?
Malik just wants you to just block.
Alright, so what's he gonna play here? Hopefully not another Unity Generator? Okay. Alrighty. So he's gonna be running Eternal Sage, of course.
This is the jankiest jank bot deck I've ever seen. Get him, Havoc. Giles in full swing.
So we've got Necrotic Mage, Necrotic Warlock, Necrotic Rogue, and the Valiant Escort was Necrotic Rangers. I mean, no, not Necrotic, but Ranger. So it doesn't really matter. I'll just do it on there. So we get to do some decent damage here. So he's going to use these tiers, that's fine.
You know, it'll be some good cards to draw. Some removal. Prize Ball. Martyr.
Yeah. Do I want to play a Neophyte here is the question. Probably not.
I would.
Alright, we'll do it then.
There's no reason not to.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I... Yeah. Guess I will.
Gotta up the clock. Gotta race the Jink bot.
I mean, it's gonna be pretty damn hard. I'm probably not gonna be able to swing with much next turn. Because here comes the Jank bot again to...
Yeah,
another
I mean...
bunch of free things. But
the thing about Midnight Shepherd is like chump with your Neophyte Awakener, and then you just bring it back.
Yeah, I guess I will. I guess I will. Counter magic, alright, diamond, and an epiphany. So you just got some cards. That's okay though. Yeah. Oh, maybe. But hitting shards is not terrible because it just means he gets to play a lot more in a turn. And when you're drawing more cards, well, then that's troublesome. But luckily, there's no troops on the board yet. But that's going to change. So if I wanted to, I could take the hit to potentially get more damage in if he doesn't play anything, but because that's extremely unlikely, I will.
Well, I mean, there's always the other option of you're able to swing in, and then if you block something, you can bring it back. But, yeah. I think it's the safe line to block the Jink bot.
Yeah. So he's using the generator. What's he gaining here? So he gains blood. So he's going for second blood there. So extinction? No. Well, maybe.
Why would he kill his own Jink?
Well, I mean, of course, but I mean, it would wipe most of my board, right? I mean, all my board. But all right. So disciples of
you would have a. You would have a.
I just have a.
You would have nothing at the extinction. That would be
true.
very good.
True. I would have the. These make me worry. I mean, so basically with Eternal Sage,
you
he
just
can
swing
buff those
Shepherd
like crazy. Ooh, we got the Flame Hand. That's pretty nice.
Flame Hand, shift to the Monarch, swing the Monarch. He's forced to block, and then you can bring back his guy with your Shepherd.
Yep.
Or you can bring back your Awakener and then put this guy into your hand and then play your Shard of Fate for a second blood and then cast it.
Wait, what? Say that again?
Okay, so swing with your Monarch.
I should have played it.
Blocks,
resource,
you can
maybe.
bring back Awakener.
Yeah. Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, just to do it that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably could swing with Lixel there too, but
yeah, no, it gets two things back into play instead of just the one.
Yeah.
So, well, I figured I'd hold her back now because I can kill that off. I probably shouldn't just keep letting him attack in with it. So he decides to take the hit.
I mean, you technically were able to.
No, I know.
So I'd pump the two resources.
Yeah.
Because you could bring back the Awakener and you'd have 2/3 power guys and you'd still be able to block. But I guess this way, if he has one removal spell, you can still kill it with a triple block. I'd go ahead and play. Oh.
You're gonna do that now.
I go ahead and play the Shard of Fate for blood.
Yeah. Do. Alright. So, we'll see what he does.
I mean, he's swung twice with the Jink bot and he hasn't won the game yet. I'd say his deck's pretty bad.
Well, I'm still feel like he's gonna do like an Eternal Sage and just smack me for $1 billion in the air. I'm worried about that.
Well, Eternal Sage with Wild, he could, do 6 in the air. It's not like...
I mean,
like
no. Well, if he does the Wild Shard and the Generator, he could do...
That's +3 twice.
Yeah, I know, it's still...
It's not that much.
Alright, so you got a Tear, Sensei, and Lixil, so that's still okay.
That's totally fine.
The Lixil is a good defender, of course, but... That's alright.
I think we were hitting him in the air anyway.
Jank into Purge.
Jank into Purge would be brutal. We don't want to see Jank.
Yeah, we don't want to see that. We don't even just want to see him.
We don't want to see Jank into Mass Dingler. We don't want to see Jank into a lot of things.
Yeah.
But so far, his Jank bot hits have been really tame.
Yeah. Alright, so let's block.
Triple block. Dead to Shardlord. No.
I mean...
But even if he does that, you can bring back the Awakener, which brings back the Monarch,
I know.
and then you can replay the Monarch. So it's not even the worst thing.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what I mean about the attrition aspects of the deck, where it doesn't really matter if he kills your stuff.
Yeah. I mean, he could... If he kills the Shepherd, it matters. But then I get it back with that. Yeah. It slows it down. It slows me down.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. A resolved Shepherd, when your opponent isn't playing any removal, is really hard for them to deal with.
Now we can steal the Jank bot.
Yeah. Theoretically, we can steal the Jank bot.
We'll put it in my collection. Yoink. Dream Dance, alright.
That's fine.
Yeah.
That just means he'll put more stuff in his crypt for you to bring back with Shepherd.
Yep. He did say he picked the wrong deck. I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I mean, it is a Jink bot deck.
Yeah.
So Unicorn, Shard, Swing, Pass.
Yeah.
And now you have Safety Net against Extinction.
Mm-hmm. I'll let the Monarch die.
You don't need to swing with Lixil, because he has a Lixil. He gets free automatic.
Whatever. Just making sure. Just making sure, right? He's paying attention. I'm not paying attention, so I might as well check if he is. Alright, so,
Play the Awakener. Play the Awakener now. You can save it. You have the Unicorn for backup. I was thinking you could get his Messenger.
It's fine. Get his Messenger. Nah. I don't need to do that. Surprised he didn't kill the Monarch, but I guess he doesn't want me getting that. Yeah, he doesn't want me doing that.
If he kills it, then you get a Fireball. Shift it. You basically kill him if he blocks it.
Yep.
I mean, he can shove it, but he can't actually kill it in combat, or he loses.
Wolsey Wabbit with the ability to get it online. That's
pretty good. He's gonna copy your Shepherd.
Yeah, I mean,
he's gonna turn it into a 5/6 Shepherd or something, or 6/5 Shepherd.
Yeah, that's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. That's alright though. I'll just get his Jankbot, attack with Jankbot, get Prideful Armada, and I'll be fine. So
that's all you need.
Yeah.
No big deal.
No big deal.
You can also get like a couple of Prodigies and some Forgotten Monarchs and just burn them out.
Yeah. Alright, let's get that Jankbot. Yoink! Gimme, gimme, gimme. Thank you. Alright. So another Monarch there.
Oh, that's a good draw.
That's pretty damn nice.
So with the Awakener in your crypt, you can actually bring back your Flamehand Invoker, and it'll have the shift again, so you can shift it to the new Forgotten Monarch as well.
Yeah. Yep.
I mean, you don't have to do it right now, obviously. Wait and see if he kills your Jink Block, you swing, but...
Just thinking, do I want to play this?
I would swing Jink before you play it, because you might get 3 resources and then be able to Guiles.
Yeah, alright. That's definitely a possibility.
It doesn't do anything by playing it pre-combat, so...
I guess that'll do. One shard. A Monarch. Nice. Oh, 2 Monarchs. That's some hacks right there. Damn.
So you're saying the opponent takes 6.
That's pretty dirty. That is pretty dirty.
Yep.
Lamb.
Pretty good.
That's cool.
My job is to trick Havoc into bad decisions? No, that's not the plan. We want people to see this deck actually work.
Yeah.
Right? You guys came here to see a
So
deck that's in the meta
nice.
that's not being played super much because it's pretty complicated, but is really fun to pilot.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good turn. Pretty good turn.
Yeah, that's pretty good. He's down to 10 now. He's chomping on both, which is good.
Yep. Which is
So
expected.
I didn't get an answer for the Wabbit though. But that's okay.
Oh well. You still have the Jagbot and the Unicorn, so I'd say you're in a better position.
I'm in a very good position, don't worry, I know. He's probably going to copy the Jank now that I've, played that out. Maybe.
Yeah, he might. It's actually probably his best chance. Like, copying Shepard doesn't save him. Like, he's dead in the air next turn if he tries.
Alright, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna play the Awakener. I'm going to say yes. I'm going to then take... I'm gonna take the Sensei.
Draw a card.
Yeah, try to get a Prize 4 Armada. That'll really screw him over. But why not? I like drawing cards.
Yeah, everybody likes drawing cards.
Oh, another Unicorn. That's pretty good as a backup. So, what's song name? Level Up by Dr. Vox. Just some free random stuff I have. So yeah, let's pass the turn. So one thing to note is he left 3 open there. Because this is basic, so he left it open for a reason.
He might have had a
Alright,
maybe
he wanted to get the threshold? I don't know. But yeah, possible.
Oh, he still didn't have his fifth threshold, so I guess that makes sense. He just got the ruby at the end of his turn.
Yeah, but why? Oh, I guess because he didn't want to do that yet.
I mean,
it doesn't use that.
It doesn't have speed, so it's not like transforming
no,
in that turn would have done anything.
I know. So let's see what he does here. He's copying the jank as
going
expected.
For the jank.
Going for the jank.
So what you're saying is you get to quad block his jank with Forgotten Monarch so that you can revive him and kill him?
Yeah, pretty much.
No whammies.
I mean, or I could
whammies.
just use the Unicorn. Because, like,
yeah.
I mean, he's only got 1 flying blocker, right? And that's probably my easiest way of getting through. There's no need to. I mean, let's see what he gets. It's all going to come down to that.
No whammies. No whammies.
Shard, that's fine. Sliver, alright, so he's Sliver deck. Alright, good luck with that.
Oh, no whammies. We're good.
Yeah. That's good. So he gets a sliver in play. It doesn't matter. He's going to need a lot more of those to kill me. And I don't think he's going to live to do that. Just something tells me he might be dead.
Purge or a Mass Dingler or...
Yeah, I mean, if he does Mass Dingle, I cry. Mass Dingle makes me cry.
Yeah, Mass Dingle would be the worst.
Yeah, I'd be dead.
Purge would be pretty terrible. But you'd still have his Jake bot against his Jake bot. So it wouldn't be that bad.
Yeah. Let's think about this. No, I guess I will block with one Monarch, get it back this turn. So maybe I'll block with two. No, I'll do Awakener, Lixil, Monarch, I think is right. So 10 damage. I could go with more, but we'll do that. See what happens. Boom, 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 boom. But yeah, and if he tries to do a trick, and if he keeps it alive, that's okay. Like if he has to use resources here to keep this alive, well, that's fine.
Yeah.
Because then I just
use
Unicorn.
In the air.
Exactly. So we'll let that happen.
Now the real question is, will he decide not to kill your Monarch, or will he kill your Monarch? Because he could just make all the damage go with Lixil. Yep.
Right, good point. Monarch. Yeah, I forgot about that. So good point.
I
so
mean,
we'll just,
it's still lethal
fine.
in the air.
It doesn't matter.
I
mean, I'm just gonna take another Jankbot. I think it's fine. I think we got this.
He needs to play Jankbot, but you can take your opponent's Jankbots, right?
Exactly. 9 Jankbot's pretty good, you know. And the Lixil doesn't prevent.
You know what the sad part about this game is? Your opponent is swung with multiple Jankbots, and he hasn't even done a single damage to you yet.
Yeah, that's pretty. Yeah. All right, so we got a Martyr there. Obviously, it doesn't really matter. Yeah, let's just swing.
Yeah, I think he's just dead.
He's just dead. I mean, he could have Shardwood, of course, but I mean,
Shardwood would only stop like the Jankbots or the Monarchs.
I'm just gonna Martyr the Lixil. Just give him one blocker, then Shardwood doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, Shardwood doesn't actually stop Jankbot. So. Oh.
No, I know, but I'm gonna make it so you can't even block.
That's a win right there.
Yeah, no, I easily.
You can bounce.
Yeah, I know.
You can bounce with.
I'll do it just for. I'll do it just to show people.
Well, that's if he lives.
Well, yeah, that's if he lets me do it. Well, I can do it now, kind of. Or is it basic?
Monarch doesn't have quick. You can't recast it.
Oh right. I mean, yeah, no, sorry, you're right. Would I like to activate this ability? Sure.
Instead of fight could be. Take that, disciple. Take the disciple. Aww.
Here, you want me to have that? I can do it that way. Alright, so,
Yeah, you definitely need to put high impact cards in your Jake deck.
Oh, right, there's still another 3 cards to go. I forgot about that.
Second Jake bot. Gotta prize spell your own card.
Yep.
See you, Jake bot. It was nice knowing you.
I think it bugged out.
Opponent still has priority. You might want to sack a unicorn.
Yeah, I guess. I guess
Nope.
What?
Didn't have time to respond.
Right, okay, I don't care. Let's just do that. Why not?
Oh, a verdict.
Oh, snap.
Not that really saves him by itself.
No. Needs a lot more than
Still
that.
Needs,
I mean, he should have things. Should have things.
You would expect with how many cards he's drawn.
Yeah.
And the fact that we saw Shardboard, that he must be playing like.
Yeah, no, he's gonna do a Shardwood here. It's gotta be. Yeah, there it is.
Yep.
Alright, well that's annoying, because now
So
I
you
can't
can
even
kill
do
him next turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, next turn you can kill him.
Yep.
He didn't even block the Sensei with Elixir. Let that one damage in.
Free Monarchs. Pretty fun.
Yep. Free Monarchs.
Play another Unicorn. So he needs Mass Dingle. If he gets it, I'm going to be really, really sad.
Mass Dingle is the only out I can think of.
Yeah, it is. It is definitely the only out. Gets back a Disciple. Well,
he probably could have responded Steel if he had done it before he had already hit the resolve button, but once you hit the resolve button, the way the Jankbot works is you target once it resolves, which is really weird, not once it's on the stack.
yeah,
But if you
yeah, I think you're right. Potentially I could have done it. I don't know. Maybe we'll get another one and we can test it.
Possible. But are you going to kill him with Monarch?
Yeah, I guess I will. Generator, okay. Let's see, getting here.
Oh, I stayed corrected. Comet Strike would have been an out.
Yeah.
At least for a little while.
A Grout.
It'd just be
Well,
a
that
top
doesn't help.
Or... Nope.
Nope.
He tapped out. He's dead. Bring back his Jinkbot out of spite.
Yep.
Sack 3 unicorns because you can. To be fair, though, this game didn't really take a long time. Like, you both used half your clock already
Yeah,
on the first game.
I know.
In the best of 3.
Yeah.
But yeah, this just proves how long this 5-color deck
I mean,
can go.
to be
You know,
fair,
it's
we
so
are
different
running against a deck that he didn't mean to choose, and it's a deck that's obviously very, very janky, to say the least.
I mean, he had 2 Jinkbots.
Yeah. True, but yeah, he then just didn't get anything worthwhile with it. So we'll just do this now. We'll get back this one, which has the effect. Put him into the hand. Like so. And then we shall replay him and just do the damage.
Yep. There are no raffles going on at this moment, Morlocco.
Yeah, no raffles. Later on, after the show, I'll do some Hex Battlegrounds. If you don't know what that is, well, you'll see. You'll see. It's a little stream minigame.
Bot.
Sorry? Is that actually
Someone asked if that was actually
right.
a command.
Yeah, no, I don't.
It is if there was a bot,
Yeah.
but...
Alright, let's do it. Monarch goes into play.
Oh, and there's the secondary win con of being able to give it speed as well. No.
Alright, so you target opposing champion, puts it on the stack, and then you just go...
And then you fire breathing all the way up to infinity now.
9 damage extra there. Pretty damn good. So there we go. So what I might do here... I mean, okay, so it's done. Is instead of going to game 2 and 3, like he did pick the wrong deck now. I mean, that went for a long time. So hopefully you don't mind that I just quit this one here. And we'll take on a different challenger. To give someone else a chance. So, you know, yeah. So that went for a while. So...
Briar Legion was more of a draft archetype. It wasn't really ever constructed viable.
Yeah, yeah. Alright, so we'll do one more game here. And so yeah, one more challenger. So if someone would like to, just mention so in the chat and then send me a whisper. And if not, I will take on the armies. Alright. Doesn't look like anyone wants to, so I'll just, if you send me a whisper armies, I'll send you a challenge.
Or I can just send you the challenge, that's fine too.
Alright, I'll stop sharing my screen.
You can play my my Winter Moon deck. That's what everybody wanted to see. Yep.
Alright.
Everyone was waiting for those masked Ingles last game, so now we'll have a real chance. So.
Alright. Let's see how we do here. Play first. Let's check out the opening hand. That's keepable.
Yep, mine's keepable too.
So I'm gonna go with a ruby first. Pass the turn. So this game, with now against a proper deck, should be a lot quicker. Because he'll either get the position, like if you're using Spell Shield, I don't know if you are, but if you are, I'm in trouble.
No, I'm not playing Field Version, I'm playing my own.
Right. Alright, let's just play that out. Let him kill it if he wants to.
It's tempting.
Do it.
I think we'll wait and see what you do.
Oh.
We don't have to kill it now. That's the joy of Sapper's Charge.
Takes the damage. Decides not to kill it. Alright.
That might kill it, but that'll have to kill it right now.
Yeah.
You might have a Shepherd. Might be better to wait.
Maybe.
Might have an Awakener. Just waiting to bring it back. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you had wanted me to kill it, you would have used all your resources pumping it. Then I would have for sure killed it.
Whatever. Is that Bella growling? I mean, she was probably doing something, yeah. She's behind me on the bed. So let's just do that. I'm okay with that. Another one. What a floobs.
Always have spares. That's the rule, right?
No.
No?
No.
You didn't want me to have a spare?
No. This is annoying. Damn it! Microphone falling over. Not drawing too well here.
Oh, that's excellent for me then.
Yeah, not good for me. Oops. I'll put 2 into it. Here, you want to kill it?
2?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'm willing to kill it for 2.
Alright. Screw it. I can't be bothered waiting. So we'll do that. And then we'll do this. And then we'll hope that I don't get fudged by this. What, Bella? What do you want? Can you give me a sapphire, Bella? What are you doing? Jesus. What are you doing? It's going mental. What? 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 No. Come here. Come on. Come here. Stop being a dildo. Come here. Here? What are you... Oh, what do you want? What do you want? Come up here. Bella. Up. Come on. Come here. Come on, girl. Come on. I got you. I got you. There you go, you silly bugger. Alright, so... It's not too bad. I still need a bloody sapphire. Oh well, let's just play this, get a counter magic. Or not. But, well, I mean, it doesn't really matter to him, really. As, yeah. He probably has, I mean, he's not going to have, you know, the stuff we need to use this against, of course. Bella, what are you doing? So, do we see a Windsinger? A Hex Engine, okay. Oh, so Mastingle coming up. What's he got here? Another Focus. So yeah, he's got ability to play Mastingle next turn. So I'm going to need to draw something pretty spectacular, but he's very likely got Counter and Ripple. So, not good. Alright. So we're probably going to see a Ripple here. Or he just takes it, because, you know, he's got the dingle, so, yeah. Might as well play this, no point not. Let's just have to hope he doesn't have the dingle. Which, based on how he's been playing, he pretty much does. So, here it comes. Bye-bye, troops. Bye-bye. Mastingler, yay! Well, you know what?
Yeah, that's a good choice.
I will get rid of those. Still bad.
Understandable.
But I need to now draw... A Monarch would be decent, but yeah, I need to... Okay, never mind. Well, I mean, it doesn't kill him. It puts him to 1, so it's not... Yeah. Hex Engine overdo it in case you don't hit that single one? What?
No, Hex Engine is so that I can play it on 5 resources so that I can hold up counter magic, whereas Duet, you can't hold up counter magic because it doesn't give you resources the same turn you play it. That's why I'm playing Hex Engine instead of Duet.
So that works out nicely. Now I've got that on the board. He's gonna Mastingle me again. I mean, obviously he's got Sappers, but... Yeah, Rootfather is probably gonna come down later as well. I would imagine you're running that. Actually, you could do it now, even, so... Oh, it's a Croco. Well, that sucks. Not really, but... Yeah... You floob head. That's a shame. Oh, I only got one open now. Whoops. Yeah. Oh well. I was going to do that, but then he would just do Sappers in response, Testy. So I figured I'd try that. Hope he didn't have the counter, but he did. So whatevers. Oh, that's a bit late. That's a bit late to the party. What a floof.
Yep, that's pretty late.
Yep. Not good. Not good. Oh. The quick fox. Well, that's terrible. Screw it. I'm gonna play to my outs. I mean, you probably got counter, but I'm gonna hope to draw a Monarch. Screw it. I don't give a floobs. I mean, you've got a counter, right? You've got a counter, yeah.
Maybe.
Oh, last card. I feel like you do, but I guess we'll find out if I draw something. That is. Well, that doesn't work. Does allow me to trade with the Croco, but that's only a maybe. His last card actually could be just another Croco. Oh, that's a floops. Damn flute cards. Another Sapphire. Stop it.
But they're my win condition.
Alright, so this game still could go either way, depending on that last card. That's not what I wanted, but it's okay. Pity I don't have 3 resources open, but still a full...
Yeah, that I can't really let resolve.
Yeah, so I was right. At least we now baited that out. That's good. Yeah, you couldn't let that resolve. So this game could go either way.
I can't really beat on the clock. Like.
Yeah. Alright, that's it's okay, because it is out of Sapper's range, so it's not the worst. So at least stops him from swinging unless he has removal or a smash to the ground to surprise me.
Yeah, that would be an interesting way to play the game.
Don't time ripple, my guy. What are you doing?
Trying to win.
No, don't
play into my outs.
No, stop it.
I gotta draw 1 more Sappers and kill you with Sappers, right? That's all I gotta do.
Yeah. Damn it. Hmm.
That's rude. Help, you got me.
Sweet.
I threw nothing but shards.
Phew. Alright, so we definitely want those. Definitely want that. Those. I could just go all the hate. Hmm. I think that'll do. I could bring in more things if I wanted to, but I think that'll do. Bella, sit still. Come here. Little floobs. Little floobs. Ah. Yeah, I mean, I thought about it, Malachus, and I probably should have, but it's all good. It worked out in the end. And that's an unkeepable hand. So this is where I mentioned earlier as one of the weaknesses of the deck is the opening hand in terms of thresholds. Like, this is obviously something I cannot keep. And now it becomes even harder, because if I now, I need to get really lucky on this. So then now I've got... That's actually keepable, thanks to the fact that I got that. So it's still not great. But you can imagine if this was not a diamond, I would be really boned right now. I wouldn't be able to keep this one either, if it was anything else. So, it can be very tough in terms of the mulligans. However, I did get something that's keepable, so that's good. That is good. So, get another one. Not exactly what I wanted. The bad thing here is I don't want to do nothing on my turn, but I'm also picking a resource. I don't know which one I'm going to need, but I think we'll take that one for this. But also it is, slightly more needed than the others, I guess. But we still have plays. Sadly, he's got to sap his turn 1 again, because he's a floobs.
Well, that's why you play 4 main deck sappers.
Damn floobs.
I told you, sappers is my win condition. The objective is to kill all my opponent's things and then keep drawing sappers that cycle and kill my opponent with 2 damage to the face multiple times. Or kill him with brown fox scouts, whatever. It doesn't really matter to me.
Alright, so we'll see if he plays, he doesn't have to kill, of course. Looks like he's not going to. Yeah. Fair enough. And as a Wintermoon player, you should always do trades like that, even if your troop's better. Because, you're Wintermoon, so you want to put stuff back in. Alright, so I guess I'll just do this.
Brown Fox spell is a removal spell in this deck. Like, it's literally what it's for.
Alright. That's fair. So So now he's going to put those both back in. And I need to draw... that's okay. That's okay. So we'll do that. Alright, so he wants to stop that. That's fair. So he's down to 1 card in hand, but obviously now 2. And now 1 again. So that's good. Depending on what it is. Could be Mastingle, and he's not ready for that yet. But I don't have enough pressure on. He'll get to that before, you know. Could be another counter as well. So we'll find out. Not a counter. Yeah, let's just do that. See if it's a ripple. It's a ripple. Okay. Oh, cripple. Alright. I knew it was something when you hesitated. Now, the good thing is, the Guile's obviously power does affect all my dudes, so that's okay. And he's just hit another shard, so things are looking okay for me. I do, but however, as you can see, my thresholds, and like I said, is one of the biggest weakness for the deck is the thresholds. And that's terrible. Oh no. This is very bad. Oh, floobs.
On the bright side, you have a block forever.
Yeah. Well, not really. I mean, it doesn't even block your foxes.
Well, I mean, you can block and then blink is what I mean.
No, I mean, yeah, but... yeah. This is not looking good. Okay, that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean, it gives you any resource you want.
Sadly, it still dies. I got 1 damage on him now.
Interesting
Woo!
choice. Yep. 20 turn clock.
It's probably not the right choice, but you know, I'm just hoping you don't have a Mastingle right now. But yeah.
If I had one, I'd probably jam now.
Yeah.
Actually, probably not with
No, you don't
1
even
damage
need
on me. I can afford to wait, even if I did have it. Oh, another top deck shard. Another one.
So I'm actually in a right spot now. It's all going to come down to what his last card is. How many shards are you running in your deck?
24.
Okay. You're getting really flooded.
Yep. I am.
Well, that's pretty good.
Yikes. Really need that dingle now. Right off the top, please. Even that wouldn't like win me the game because you'd still have dingles.
I'd have the...
But
and I'd still have... Oh no, it reverts, doesn't it? Yeah. Yeah.
It reverts.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have 3 damage on you. Croco?
Oh man, that would have been good if I had another resource, but...
Wait, you've got something for 10? Oh, you've got... Don't tell me you've got Comet Strike. Do you really have Comet Strike?
No, there's no Comet Strike.
Alright, so... You need a resource to do... I don't know. Alright, well, let's find out. Ooh. Alright, let's just play it. Now we've got that potential combo.
Yeah, I'm just dead.
Yeah. I'm gonna even just shift that now. Over to here.
It's
Alright.
legal.
Yeah, I know.
Legal on board.
I know, but I had Fred's full waiting. In case you had Crocker. So yeah, that was the deck in action. If you again have questions, just do @HEX Havoc followed by your question for myself or armies. But let's get into the next segment, which is none other than the Flibbity Floobs. It's upgrade, improvements and tweaks. So let me get back into the card manager here.
And turn on the share screen again.
Yep. Alright, let's get into the game. Alright, so we're back. First, let's look at some cards from set 4, from Primal Dawn. I've got 3 examples here of cards that could be good in the deck, that what we've seen so far. So let's have a look at those. So we've got the Midnight Spiritualist, the Hextricator, and Reap. So let's talk about Midnight Spiritualist first. So it's a 5 cost, 1 diamond, 3/1, has flight. It's a Necrotic Cleric, and when it dies, it creates a phantom for each different threshold you have, and puts them into play. So definitely has some good potential there, some sexy artwork. But yeah, pretty damn nice. And yeah, it could be something you also, get back with your Midnight Shepherd and all that. Keep getting phantoms galore, but yeah, just getting 5 phantoms when it dies is pretty damn good value right there.
Should be really good with the shift sacrifice guy too.
Yeah,
might even make a whole deck around it. You never know.
You never know. Yep. And then we have a very basically, if you don't have the platinum to buy Lixils, you've got a bit of an alternative here with Hextricator. Did I just call it Extricator? Hextricator. And it's basically, similar effect to Lixil. Obviously, you don't have. It's not a 3/3. It doesn't get invincible or anything like that. But it is an artifact, so that's somewhat nice. But yeah, when it enters play, you gain a threshold of your choice. So not bad. And then we have Reap, which is very nice, getting a threshold while also destroying any troop. So that's pretty damn nice in this deck. So what do you think of those armies? Anything you want to add or say about them?
I could say more about them if I could see them.
Oh. Alright, let me...
I mean, I know what they do, but it's easier if
Yeah, no, I understand. Here, let me switch to that. There you go.
Excellent. Alright, so obviously Reap is probably the best one of these cards.
Yeah.
Because it's pretty much unconditional removal that ramps you. The only drawback is obviously basic rather than quick.
Yeah.
But as you saw in those games, if he was able to Reap my Brown Fox down or something, he would have got a Wild and a Sapphire, which are the 2 thresholds he has the least of in his deck.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
I mean, against Winter Moon, Reap could be a thing for sure.
Definitely, yeah. Yeah. That definitely is a good interaction there on a Brown Fox Scout. A good example there. Yeah.
And the Midnight Spiritualist is obviously really good against any deck that's playing a lot of removal or just can't deal with a bunch of 1/1s very effectively.
Yeah. And another good thing...
Even as just a roadblock, it doesn't even need to attack.
Yeah.
If you have a Vampire King or a Vampire Princess, are you really going to attack into that?
Yeah.
Probably not.
Yeah. And also there is the fact, yes, it's flight, so it does get to block a Princess, but you also got to remember that if it does die, you're running Martyr, so having 5 little dudes in the air can easily get out of control if you've already used a Martyr or you've got one ready to go and you've got something else worth using it on. Maybe you've got a Midnight Shepherd in play, as well as she dies, you got the Midnight Shepherd. They then try to kill the Shepherd, because obviously they don't want you bringing that back. And then you Martyr in response, and then you just maybe kill them with 10 damage. That's sort of interaction there. But yeah, Martyr with that card is definitely pretty nice. 5 spirits there. Pretty damn nice. So
it's really good with any kind of sacrifice effects. That card could even be good. You might play Benoshi as your champion just to be able to sack it and make a bunch of phantoms.
Yeah.
obviously I mentioned the shift one already. That basically is 6 bodies in one in a 5-color deck. So that's like +12/+12. Like that pretty much can end the game. Yeah,
the one thing
plus it's a flyer, which is something Necrotic really needed too.
Yeah, the one thing I would probably change in this deck, or because the composition is fine as it is, and obviously, when we get Primal Dawn, we're gonna then that's when a lot of upgrades are gonna come in. Wait, I just saw something interesting. Where was it?
There's also, I don't know if it's been spoiled yet, but there was like a really ridiculous card if you're playing.
You're allowed to talk about it, right?
If you're playing a Phantom deck. I can talk about them. I don't have a picture to show.
Yeah,
I just don't remember.
Feel free to.
But when it entered play, it would transform all Phantoms into copies of itself, and it was like a 5/5 flyer.
Oh.
So I think it was either 6 or 7 cost and several diamond thresholds, but it's like a 6 cost 5/5 flyer that turned all of your 1/1 flyers into 5/5 flyers. It's pretty ridiculous if you can have enough Phantom generation.
That's pretty dirty. So, in terms of what we currently have, the one thing I don't like in the deck, and I don't think it's needed. I mean, it's okay. It does have some nice interactions, like Ripper with Midnight Shepherd can be nice, but even Ripper with Monarch and all that sort of stuff. There's plenty of decent interactions with the Ripper there, but it is something that potentially you could take out, because then you're not going to be able to do it early, of course, if you don't have that Ruby. Which, again, it is mainly there. Like, I would imagine it's mainly there just for the Midnight Shepherd interaction, which is rather nice. And the Monarch. And obviously the Monarch, when it is 0 cost with speed, will always have that speed, which is also good. But it is probably the first thing I would go to when it comes to taking something out. Yeah. Not too sure, but yeah, that is obviously, that's actually, I guess, something we forgot to mention earlier, is that the Ripper there can be used with the Shepherd. Well, did I unticked the wrong thing. I meant to show PvP cards. Let's do that. So, what was the card I was going to mention? I mean, Ethereal Caller is an okay option, but not really. Double Diamond is not really a problem.
Diamond, it's a human.
Yeah.
It only makes a Phantom. Like, if you want to go for, like, a Madame Banana Phantom deck in, like, Blood Diamond, then that new 5/5 flyer could be a good finisher for your deck to turn all your 1/1s into 5/5s.
Yeah.
But Ethereal Collar is kind of slow in the current meta.
I would potentially... Let me check here. What was the card? I mean, potentially running a Soul Marble main deck is also something I would maybe consider, just as a one-off. But yeah, the Ripper does. I mean, the Ripper's fine. So what do you think would be good for what we currently have? Yeah. I mean, the deck's a pretty nice composition, as I said, so there's not really... Yeah, or maybe even the sideboards. Like, would you change anything in there?
It's hard to tell without knowing what the field is, because like reserves are all about knowing what the meta is, what you need to play against. And once this 4 comes out, that's going to be up in the air for a while. So
definitely,
it's really difficult to say what you're going to need for your reserves. I just like having flexible cards, and he has a lot of flexible cards that are good in a variety of matchups.
Yeah, yeah.
Merciless Colors in the side.
You should definitely have Trial of Faith in there, right?
Well, you might as well have All in the Family too, right?
Yeah, Trial of Faith and All in the Family. That's what you need in this deck. Followed by some Royal Den Mothers. And some Stone Tusk.
Oath of Valors.
And Stone Tusk.
Yeah, and Stone Tusk.
Yeah.
And might as well make deck Cerebral Domination while you're at it. Maybe some Circles of Preservation.
Yeah.
And don't forget the payoff card, Winds of Change.
Yeah. You could run an Angel if you liked. But yeah, this basically, the main reason for showing this deck off today is because it is something that, the next set, Primal Dawn, is going to give us a lot more necrotic. So this deck, we looked at 3 cards there. I'll bring those up again.
There are quite.
They're just 3 options. There's also
spoiled yet too.
Yeah, there's also Face Taker, which he has been shown, but the picture quality was pretty bad, so I figured I'd just mention it. But yeah, Face Taker is yeah, pretty decent. Could be okay, but probably not because it is double threshold. So you might not want that. But yeah, Necrotic, we're going to get a lot more Necrotic, so expect this deck to get some upgrades. So yeah, I think that's, yeah, I can't really think of anything else to mention in terms of tweaking it for now, because, I mean, again, as Ami said, it's all about, you know, the main deck composition is good as it is. I think it's fine. The thresholds are, you know, probably the best you're going to get, the fixing there for what we have now.
Kismet's Reverie wins the shade. All that value.
Yeah. So, yeah, I think just a matter of, you know, when we get set 4, maybe I'll do a video which revisits some of the decks that I've done in the first 7 episodes here. I mean, hopefully we're getting it soon. Maybe it'll be 8 episodes before we get it, I don't know. But I might do a revisit episode and just look at what cards can we now add to those the decks I've looked at so far. So yeah, that pretty much wraps up the episode. So let's quickly switch on over to this. Actually, let me check here. I think, yeah, that was it. That was the last thing. So yeah, thank you, Armies, for joining me. It was a pleasure having you here.
You're welcome.
And grats on that big win. Grats on that big win.
Oh yeah.
Army's the winner of the.
Oh
yeah. Subspot just got here. Well, the show is about to end, so I apologize. But we'll be up on YouTube shortly, as well as the. Well, you know what? Since we don't know when we're getting Primal Dawn, but so if you guys would like to vote on the YouTube video this week's, it'll be on YouTube probably within the hour. So yeah, if you'd like to vote on next week's deck of what you would like to see me talk about, have it go draft. Potentially, I might do that. No, there is going to be some battlegrounds. I'm just wrapping up the show for the YouTube highlight, but I won't be ending the stream yet. We will play some battlegrounds, and yeah, Army's won the Cerulean Mirror Knight AA. He was the big winner this week, so that was you know, he's definitely very happy about that. It's a $60-$70 card right there, and Bella's like, "No, I wanted it." Did you want it, Bella? Did you want it? Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, Bella. I'm sorry. Don't be mad. Are you mad? Huh? What? Come here. Come on. Alright, so yeah, that's the end of the show. And we're going to play some Battlegrounds now. So I'm going to... yeah, let's just switch over to Battlegrounds. I can highlight this all later. So yeah. Let me close down a whole bunch of floobs, and then we'll get into a game of Battlegrounds.